Hi guys, Squirrel here, back with some train simulator, and this time I thought I'd go for something new. This is the Canadian Mountain Passes Scenery Pack, and this is the ES44AC Canadian Pacific. Not driven this train before, so this should be interesting. I'm going to go for the spiral bound. There's quite a few scenarios here, and most of them are pretty long. The shortest one's 30 minutes. This one here caught my eye. It's 60 minutes medium difficulty, and it says, you are the engineer of Priority CP Intermodal Train 100, and you have just climbed aboard at the field crew change point. You'll be headed eastbound over the heart of Kicking Horse Pass, en route to Lake Louise, with the famous spiral tunnels ahead. Your consist is a heavy stack train, and you have 3 GE ES44ACs as power, 2 up front and 1 rear. So we've got a heavy consist going on, and we're going to be looking at the scenery, apparently. The Kicking Horse Pass and the Lake Louise, and apparently some famous tunnels, which I must admit, I don't know them, but if you're from Canada, you probably do. Anyway, let's give it a try. Engineer CP Train 100 to Lagmouth Subdivision RTC. Our crew change at Field Depot is complete, and we are ready to proceed eastbound. Oh yeah, that's quite a long train. Lagmouth Subdivision, you can begin your eastward movement, but you'll need to stop at the field main 1 east signal as we have loaded a grain train coming down. After it passes, you should have a clear run up the north, RTC out. Cool, let's get in the cab. Speed limit. Wow, this thing picks up pretty quickly considering. Blimey. Have we got a light on the front here? No. Can we find the light switch? Where are you? Lead axle, horn. Let's put a bit more power in. Ooh, wheel slip. Let's get the stand down. That's the cab light. Where the heck's the switch for the daylight in this thing? What's this one? Headlights, there we go. That looks good. Can't quite read off. What does that say? Dim? Rear headlights. Okay, that'll have to do for now. Let's maybe pick up a bit more speed. Let's have a look at this monster. Nice. Canadian mountain scenery. Look at this. Beautiful. That is a long old consist. Blimey. Let's make sure I'm not going to break the speed limit. This isn't the signal that we're meant to stop at, I don't think. Or is it? Yes, it is, actually. Yes, it is. Should we have stopped before that? Or are we okay to just block this thing? Let's get some brakes on. We're going to have to go for a hill start here. Let's turn the sander off. Unfortunately, we are blocking the road completely. But I don't suppose it makes that much difference, considering it has to close anyway for this train coming down. Right, let's get some good loco brakes on. We don't want to roll back down the hill now, do we? I should do it. Probably turn that off now. Lights 2, 1. Let's put it on 1. Listen to the engines. Canadian Pacific. Is that the lake on the left, do we think? Wow, this guy's got a massive consist as well. If we just go to the back a second. Oh my life, look at this! That's the curve, the bend, and then there's another curve. This... This is pretty insane. It's hard to get an idea of how long that is. Canada. Look at the grain silos, look at that. Yeah, that's moving quite a bit of grain. 60-minute scenario, 15 minutes waiting for the grain train. That's what this is. We're going to get some wheel slip going up this hill. Imagine if you're the driver, you can just basically sit here now and just read the newspaper because there is nothing you can do. Wow, that is amazing. It's weird how the acoustics is like really echoey. I think that's the back. Whoa, look at that. Just look at the size of that. That's like the back of it is here. We on green? We're on green. Let's get the sander up. Let's get some power going. Let's release the brakes. Brake pressure coming down. And off we go. Nice. Smooth takeoff. I could have, I think I could have timed that throttle a bit better with the brake. It took quite a long time for that brake pressure to come down. Stick my head out the window and look back. Bit more power. It's going to be pretty hard to break that 20 speed limit. This is quite a steep incline. Look at that, 1.2%. See the elevation. We can try 100% power. See what that does. Wow, I think Canada is just basically like this everywhere, isn't it? It's just the kind of trees and greenery and just amazing scenery. And just covered in snow in winter. Okay, let's back off. We are actually approaching that 20 limit. Can I turn the sand off now, do you think? Let's try it. Well, we're just on a steady climb. Looks like it. If we could just kind of hold it at this speed, that'd be fantastic. What is this white line? What is that? Is it just some trim? Just some decoration on the window? Max speed 75 miles per hour. Cab light. Oh, that actually works. What's this one? Sun visor. Oh, hang on. Hello? I thought it was turning that. Nice! An operational sun visor. All we need now is an operational window and we're good to go. What else can we click? Is that a button then? There's something here. What's this? Steps light. Blimey, that's the first time I've seen a clickable button behind me in this game. Nothing here. Nothing here. The AC apparently. Main high fan. Headlights. What's that? Rear light? That's not clickable. Loco brake, train brake. The bell. Sander. Horn. Comms. Nothing over there. Throttle and so on. Let's get that out of the way a sec. What does that say? Field. This is a sign that says field. Okay. Bit more power. 2.2%. We are climbing big time. I bet you get a rockfall problem here. That is just cut out the side of this mountain. Those 3 diesel engines are just working overtime right now. They must have to sit down and just work this out. Like, they look at all the powers of the 3 diesels and then work out how much mass they've got in order to work out how many of these things they can put on. Because you can't just add them on randomly. You have to know, you know, how steep is this hill that we're going to be driving up, and how much mass have we got, and what are the power of the engines, what kind of... I mean, when they built this gradient, like, they can't make it too steep, otherwise some trains just won't be able to get up it. All the wheels slip all day. So there must be some maths involved. But since we've been doing it a couple of 100 years, I suspect it's pretty well-known maths. I imagine this at winter would just be caked in snow. You could get some pretty hazardous weather up here. Look at that drop down there. Because if you look at this incline, it's quite steep for a train, to be honest. 2.2%. Feels to me like this thing's getting steeper. It doesn't... It's 2.2 straight up, but I don't know. It just feels... That line there, it just looks steeper. Look at this here. They've kind of... They've either built or cut something here. Looks like they've built it out of the rocks to stop the rock slide. I guess that'd stop all kinds of small boulders from just falling onto the track. It must be really scary. You're coming down this hill here and you come around the corner. You can't do anything, can you? That could just derail you off the side there. I guess that's why they built that, because, you know, when you are coming round though, you can't do anything. The stopping distance is too great. What is that? Oh, it's a tunnel. Wow. They're like, we can't be bothered with that granite bit there. We'll just cut that out. We'll just cut through there. It'll be fine. Should put a door on it as well and a knocker. You have to pull up and knock on it to go through. This all looks man-made now, doesn't it? With all the walls and the tunnels and stuff. Less and less natural. Look at this, they put, like, a wire fence up as well to stop the rock slide. They must get a lot of it here. Like, lots of small rocks or something. I've seen one of these. Where was that? Which scenario was it I had one of these? And it was another mountain climb. It's exactly the same. It was a ski one. It was Switzerland, I think. And they had a similar thing to this, except when you were in the cab, you could, well, you could look out like that, except it was all cut away. Another signal coming up in half a mile. This is just a long climb. And then imagine after we get through this long climb, there'll be a long descent to go with it. Cathedral, was that Cathedral Main? Let's have a look at that. Centre player, where are we? Here we are. So we're coming up the curve here. Go via Cathedral Main West. Okay, that's the first thingy. So we're going to go on the right track. Yeah, so they just single tracked the mountain pass, haven't they? Because obviously when you're building that, it's very expensive to build one track, let alone two. Then we're going to fall back to 2. The only thing you can't see from this is elevation. Oh, look at that. That's got to be a descent. It's got to be. This map, it would be really helpful if you had... you know, like when you look at a map and you see those contour lines? with the elevation markers on them. It'd be really handy to see that. And you can kind of plan ahead. You can say, well, I'm going to be leveling out here. I'm going to be descending here. That'd be really good to see that. If we put that on 2, is that just a lot less bright? Yeah, it is. I guess 2 is the daylight then. And 1 is main beam, maybe. Although having said that, when you're in the tunnel you can't see anything. What does that look like at the front? No, that's not right. It's got to be that, hasn't it? I don't know if they run with lights on during the day, or whether they just turn them off. Time limit bonus. So what time did they arrive? 10:19. We got there. Oh yeah, look at that. We actually got there on time. Nice. Go via Yoho West. Then there's a 10:35. There's a time check after that. We finally crossed over the lake. Well, not the lake, the river, which presumably connects to the lake. Feels like we're leveling out, but I don't think we are. It just feels like it. Oh! There's one of the big tunnels. 2% gradient still. There will be westbound manifest freight lead unit in the clear for you at Yoho siding. There will be a westbound manifest freight lead unit in the clear. So this is actually... Is this a climb? I actually thought this was going to be a descent. Look at it, 1.6%. This is a climbing tunnel. Looping back around, inside the mountain. My god, imagine when they built this. That must have been... That must have been difficult. Difficult working conditions when they built that. I can't even do an external view. I can't even show you like how narrow that is. It won't let you go external view. You can't even stick... Oh, you can stick your head out the window. Not that you can see very much. But you can see how much room there isn't. Blimey. I guess this is where you'd probably put your cab light on. So you can see what you're doing. Hey, there's the end. Hang on, so whereabouts was that? So that whole section here was tunneling. Blimey. Out we come. Woo! We have emerged. What's the scenery like? Trees and mountains. Was that my train? Oh, you kidding me? Is that my train? Look at that! Look at that! You can see the back of your train. That definitely is my train. Look at the state of that. How often does an engine driver get to look at the back of his train? That is incredible. That's simply incredible. That's how long that is. Never seen that before. That's fantastic. 2% gradient still. Going via Yoho West. It's okay. Just keep an eye on the speed there. So we crossed... This is amazing. Think about this. Look, we crossed over that bridge, then we spiraled up, and then we came back again. That's what just happened. Oh, is that a waterfall up there? It's like a stepped gradient on the water coming down. Do you see it? Yo ho west incoming. We're going right lane? Nope, we're going left lane apparently. I thought they always went in the right lane in Canada and America. I thought it was left lane in the UK and right lane in... Where the heck is this taking us? Ah, I see. There's another train coming back the other way. Are you waiting for that single track, mate? Alright, Bob, how's it going? Very chatty. What's he got? I'm not sure what he's got. He's got a mixed consist by the look of it. Liquids and solids. Whereas I've just got containers. Another road up here. Just think about how elevated we are now. We're just constantly been climbing. I just can't get over how long these trains are. They're just unbelievable. I mean, to be fair, you might as well. If you're gonna send a journey, if you're gonna send a run through, you may as well make it pretty darn long. What I want to know is it at its theoretical limit? Is there a mathematical thing that says that's it? Or could you put more engines and more sort of containers in the back? Or it just mathematically work out to be the most efficient when it's this many? Anybody who lives there, I would say their property value is pretty devalued. And I wouldn't want to walk to the shops. Looks like there's another tunnel up here, look. Another guy living in a... Oh, hang on, are we going to come out? We are, aren't we? We're going to go up and come back out, I bet you. I bet you that's a loop. Yes, it is! There's another loop, we're going to be coming out there in a minute. It's quite funny if you think about it. They had to scale this mountain, but obviously you're limited to the gradient you can make. So the only choice is to effectively zigzag your way up the mountain. But you do it by cutting into the mountain itself, tunneling through, then looping back and coming around on yourself. And we're out. Let's see, we should be able to look out the window. There it is. Let's get to this side. That was the bit just before we came up. And that's the view down to the road. That's awesome. Let's see what else we've got. So now we're going to go via Partridge Main West, which presumably has a time sync on it, and then we're going to be straight on over here. The gradient's come down a little bit. It's down to 1.9%, but very much just climb, climb, climb all the way through these mountains. Think about it. Some people had to sit down many, many years ago and say, how are we going to get from this side of the mountain to the other side of the mountain? Like, what's the best way to do that? And they would have had all kinds of designs, like, we'll go over here, we'll go around here. And some guys going, no, 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 we need to tunnel through, loop back this bit and go over that bit there. Ah, yeah, but we've got this kind of rock and we've got these lakes and these streams and the ground's a bit boggy here. And every sort of, you know, every extra yard or meter of track you've got to put down is more cost. So you're trying to keep it to a minimum, but then you've got to look at the gradient and say, well, if we go up that bit, you know, the gradient's going to be too much, so we need to go a bit more around, you know. Pretty hard to work all that stuff out, the engineers. And you just take it for granted. You just kind of, you know, you get in this game and just follow the track, but there's an awful lot of engineering design and then sheer hard effort just went into building these kind of things. And all it takes is one giant boulder and it smashes the track. And you can see where they've had landslides here. You can imagine it just takes one landslide, like all the water collects in that valley, you get one landslide, and then something's got to come along here and clear it before you can even use the track again, and it probably damages the track at the same time. You can imagine the whole thing's like knocked out for at least a week while they fix everything. Yeah, you look at the speed now, because the gradient's coming back to less than 2%, we're approaching that speed limit, so I do have to keep my eye on this now. Green signal, speed limit's now 25. Still climbing relentlessly. Of course, there's another road here, so you can't get a sense of how high you've really gone now, because we've gone from all the way down there somewhere. Presumably there's a road which does a similar thing. Look at that, it's like an iron... Look at that, it's an iron bridge. That's old school, that is. Don't make bridges like that anymore. Back in my day. Right, 1% gradient. We are going to start to pick up speed very, very shortly once some of this gets onto the level bit. So we're going to have to throttle back. Here it comes. It's 19. It's going to be tricky to judge this. With so much weight, everything's going to be delayed by... well, not seconds, like 30 seconds to a minute, probably. Yeah, there's a signal here. That could be the pass point. Or is that the signal there? It's just long straight, but it's still single track. It's only here it breaks out into separate tracks. So I'm not exactly sure. I'll just have to wait and see what it tells me to do. I'm going to back off on the throttle now. Oh, is this the lake? Is this the shimmering lake? Canada. I've got some gorgeous scenery in Canada. Look at that. .21 miles per hour. We'll let it pick up speed a bit more. Now this is the sign here, so there must be a... there's the signal. Whatever it is, it's coming up. We're about to hit it. Like here. I can't see anything. I don't know what it is. Now that is a view. Okay, throttle down. Not sure how much to throttle down by. You can hear the engine sort of winding down, and then it takes a bit of time to take effect. Most of the climbing seems to have been done now. I'd love to know what the altitude is. I wish it'd tell us. The thing is, as well, is we've got so much momentum that even when I throttle down, this thing just keeps moving. We've leveled off the speed there. Want to try and keep our time in this bonus if possible. Now we are starting to climb again. 1.2%, so I'm going to throttle up a little bit. It's still amazing how much it picks up speed, considering just the sheer mass of this thing. Should have tooted that a bit earlier. Better late than never. Another sort of mini lake thing going on here. Although that's probably quite shallow, I imagine, because there's land there. You could almost swim and hop to that thing. Not that I'd want to try. Let's have a look where we are. Here we are. Stephen South Track's now locked in. Signal is green. Okay, now the 35-mile-an-hour speed limit is not going to start until the back of the train goes through, which is going to be a long way. Like, how do you know as a driver when you've passed that 35? Is there something else down here, like another half a mile down the track that says, right, now you can do 35? There must be, because you have no way of guessing. You stick your head out the window and look back. You know, even for a normal train, you can see it. But for this thing, the momentum's about to go over the ridge, and I'm going to throttle all the way down now. Because we're about to have a load of weight just carry. Here it comes, here it comes. The speed limit's going to pick up to 35. What's that? 122. That must have something to do with it. Because we're about to hit 35. These marker signals must mean. Okay, here we go. Speed limit change now. I'm throttled down. I'm going to let momentum do its... Let gravity do the work. Why is the speed decreasing? We're going... It must pick up any second now. Oh, I think we hit a stone. Here we go. Here we go. It's going back up now. I'm going to lose too much time. I'm going to have to just give it a little nudge. Oh, flashing. Why are we flashing yellow? Why are we flashing yellow? Do we need to get ready to stop? I'm going to have to start increasing throttle. We're just not picking up speed at all. Look at that. Time limit penalty, 168. Wow. I'm having to throttle down this hill, which just feels really, really wrong. At some point, the mass of this train is going to start pushing us downhill. But right now, I'm losing points. Okay, speed is starting to climb. I'm gonna throttle down now-ish? I don't know. How do we use this dynamic brake again? Turn the throttle to idle, move braking handle to setup. Pause, then advance as desired. Okay. Should we try this thing? There we go, we're picking up speed. Let's try the dynamic brake. 25, 26, 26 miles per hour. Is this thing going to stop us at any point today? 27. Ah. 27.1. My life. This whole thing, the whole weight of this train is now pushing us down this hill. I'm just trying to stay That'll do. That'll do. 28. I'm fine. I don't care if I'm slightly late. If I go over that speed limit, I'm going to lose 1,000,000 points, because trying to get this thing back under control will take so long. So he's off on the brake. Yeah, that's actually working really nicely. Let's put it there. That's fine. As long, I don't mind allowing it to increase a little bit, as long as I know I can control this. As if like the whole thing, I can't slow it down enough. Yeah, that's good. I'll leave it. What are we on? 1? I don't know. I could possibly turn it off. I'm tempted to leave it. Maybe, you know, if I was being a bit smarter, I could have allowed the speed to go up more before holding it, but in all honesty, I'd rather be a little bit late. 28.1. It's going back up again, but that's fine. It's going slowly. I don't know how long we're descending for. It kind of looks like... Let's have a look at the map. Where are we? We're here. Lake Louis Stevenson's Portal South Track. Stop at Lake Louis South Track. Okay. What, here? Lake Louis Stevenson South Track. We've got to stop. I'm not 100% clear on where we stop. Right, we're flattening out here. I think I need to turn this thing off. Uh-oh. Let's put it back on. The speed started to go up as soon as I did that. It's like, nope. Although it's good to know that you can just let the speed bump back up to towards 35. Oh, actually, that's kind of holding itself. I think we've leveled out enough now. Let's turn it off. I will need to hold you for a few minutes at Lake, so I'll have to CP train RTC out. Okay. That's fine. That's a nice view back there towards that creek. Look at that. That looks really good. Over another bridge. Let's get inside. 1.4 miles. This thing probably has a braking of about half a mile. Let's get a bit more braking action going on here. There's the red. I do not know how long this train's going to take to slow down. Quite a long time by the look of it. Wheel slip. Oh my life, I never had wheel slip on braking before. Put the sand down. Oops, wrong button. I'm actually getting wheel slip for braking. That's amazing. Nope, we've overshot. I think we've overshot. No, we've actually stopped. Look at that. Look at that. That is to the wire. I can't believe how long this thing takes to brake. Oh no! No! Don't you do this to me! Don't you do this! Scumbag game! Wow. Largest braking distance in the world. That should fail. That's ridiculous. That's a fail. There's no way that should pass. Imagine another train going down here now. I'm actually overshot the red light by a full car. And it's going to pass me for it. Timeless bonus. Well done. You've made a good run over the heart of CP's magnificent kicking horse pass. Take a brief break. Scenario complete. Wow. Okay, we'll ignore that bit. Oh, look at that. I nearly got a gold star. That's amazing. Wheel slip. I only lost points on wheel slip. But that was enough to tip me out. 8868. I think you need, what, at least 900 for a gold star? Blimey. Cracking run. That is such a difficult thing to do. That train is so heavy. That was spellbound. Got a silver on it. Yeah, this is a Canadian Mountain Pass scenario. Hope you enjoyed that video, guys. If you're from Canada or you know that scenery, you know that train, then leave me some comments. Take care, guys. Until next time, happy training.